target audience market research. I love how the music cut out as soon as I was going to say that. What we have here is the Ochman research dataset. And I say dataset because it's a lot of data. This is my copy, or my company's copy, of my research guide, market research guide. And that is a Notion template that I brought up last stream, if anyone remembers, to assist content creators and business owners with finding various trends, not just viral trends, but also keyword trends, target audience trends, different things. And it's a template that I'm going to be adapting over time, but it's designed to help you track certain data points effectively and efficiently. And I had just finished the template when Notion launched a whole slew of updates and features. And it was ironic because in that stream last week, I saw an upcoming video from Thomas Frank about all the upcoming Notion features, and it had been a while since they had done anything. And I remember remarking, "What new Notion features, Thomas?" And then, like, at the end of that stream, or like the next day, they launched like 3 or 4 new things and announced like 2 or 3 more, which means that as a template designer, I have to now go and incorporate those things into the new template. But it doesn't mean that these what I have already is not fun. So we are going to start out with doing some target audience research for indescribable industries made. And I'll take you through step by step how I go about doing target audience research. Now, for the protection of both you and me, there will be a lot of YouTube videos that I'll be looking at and pulling information from, and I'll likely just keep those muted to the stream so that there's no issues with copyrights. There's no weird things I'm going to have to go back in and mute and keep track of. I think the last time when I was streaming with Devin Nash on there, he doesn't use like background music or anything copyrighted, so I'm not too concerned with that. But either way, I'm just staying in my lane content wise there with what I rebroadcast. So, little quick tour here. We have a bunch of different buttons that pull up different pre-filled forms so that whatever it is that I am about to research, I have a moderately accurate starting point. Really, these just set the a couple fields that have to do with the platform I'm on and the content I'm about to look at. And then I have ones down here that are looking at products instead of content. So if I was to research stuff from Printify to see what was selling, I might want to denote what the average price of something is or the average income of a business. Whereas these ones up here, I'm going to be looking more towards who's creating what content, what their viewership looks like, what the traffic is looking like there, because your metrics for success are different between e-commerce and content platform. They're very similar. They have a lot of good similarities, which is why I have this all in one database and then just graphs that kind of break it down by different thing. There's no data here to see looking at, but the graphs are going to change as I adapt this and I learn how to better represent the information. And so that's why we're going to go on this little journey together. To briefly swap over to Brave here. We're going to go to YouTube. The last time when we were filling out the Devin Nash template, do the challenge. If you don't know, I declared a 1 million subscriber challenge or $10,000 of monthly reoccurring revenue. And I laid out exactly how I was going to accomplish that. So already, if you go to Indescribable Industries, you'll see that there is a new video up. Oh, we got 9 views. Look at that. And this is where I'm going to be publishing all that vlogging content that talking about kind of like what we're doing here, walking you through how I do things, and hopefully providing you some interesting value on how a real human does these things. So, last time we identified that Notion, oops, Notion was probably a viable target audience for that channel, in addition to entrepreneurs. So, in this video, I'm going to go over how I would do the market research, and specifically how I'm going to use vidIQ to assist me in this endeavor. You can already see here the vidIQ plugin is marking some of these videos in a certain kind of way. So this guy's talking specifically about how to sell Notion templates. This guy is talking about how to create Notion templates and put them out there. And it makes sense that this is doing so. Interesting that this is being tagged as a 100 outlier score. And this video here with at least 4x the views is only at like 7.2, but that's because it's relative to the creator content, which is really funny. So Thomas Frank is very well regarded in terms of the Notion master of a lot of things. And I'm not entirely sure if that's just because he has a really good and like viable product. His products are really amazing. The Notion tasks he makes, but also the content he makes. It's very streamlined, it's very straightforward, and it's very on brand for Notion. Or if it's because he was first, because I don't know if anyone was here before him making Notion content like this. This channel has only been around for 4 years, but he had another channel just called Thomas Frank, and that one was like, sheesh, I don't even know. It had like 1 million subscribers, whereas this one only had like 255. But he said once that he's making far more money selling Notion templates than he is doing YouTube, which is why he prefers to do this and do develop. So normally you would need to take and go into each one of his videos and find keywords that came up in those videos. But vidIQ here is going to surf this page, his channel, and find the keywords. And then we'll be able to go into the data set and make an entry just on his channel for keyword. I'm going to do a new, we'll just save over here. It's going to pull open this field, of which there are ever so many of these. And I was working on setting up a custom layout where I was grouping the different properties together in the official template. I haven't done that for this one yet, but the process to do that is like a little tedious. So I'm not going to do that on stream, just so that we can do our market research here. So research purpose here is target audience. And I already have all those tags in the clipboard, so I'm going to quickly come down here to the keyword combos because it put them all together, and I'm hit Control V. Okay, so it put them all together. I was concerned that would be too easy. Oh no. All right. So I'm going to pick the top keywords and just start bringing them over. This channel here. Put that in the URL. The owner is. I'm gonna try not to whisper this time around. I had a hard time editing the other video because I was whispering so much. And we saw that he had about 255,000 subscribers. Views on the channel, not really concerned about that. Content length, don't need that. Publication date. I'm gonna leave that blank for now. Just no, I want to put his channel. So if I go to his oldest video, 4 years ago, So I'm just going to come in here and say, we'll just say November 1. Oh, keyword are Notion. And I can break things down a little easier. Templates. Tips. So that's just what I get from looking at these different this here. He also has course on there. We'll put that in there. This is a good one. Self develop. Okay. And then our keyword phrases are like app, template, course. So the reason those are split up is because individual keywords can be used for one thing, and then keyword combinations can be used for another. And it's good to recognize the difference. Page, feature. Oh yeah, Notion productivity data. Basically, all things Notion. This is an outlier, so let's take a look at. Let's see. Did he use any hashtags? Productivity apps. That's interesting. Productivity apps. I wasn't expecting. I actually wasn't expecting him to use any hashtags. So it's interesting that he did that. Any product they made. There are differences between selling a product you designed and selling a product you made. I designed shirts, but I didn't make them. Format used. No, we're not going to be. The title of this really doesn't matter that much because it's not going to be visible in the graph. But if I needed to come back and make an adjustment or something, I could. So that's Thomas Frank we've analyzed here. So now we can look at the target audience by content owners. Oh, and see, this is why I'm going to have to go look at that because I'm going to have to go and change that because I did all that work and I didn't type in a target audience, which is where's my target audience? There it is. There we go. And now that's going to change this. There it is. Notion users. Thomas Frank. This catches my attention here. Matthias Frank. That's interesting. Who is Matthias Frank? Did somebody come up with a name similar to Thomas Frank in order to like get the YouTube algorithm? Because this is an outlier video for them, but it's only got 123,000 views. Now I'm curious. No, I'm guessing he's the Matthias Frank. You have a really small subscriber count too. Landing features in Notion. Co-founder. Oh, did he actually get to interview him? Simple. They share 4 secrets to successful Notion workspaces. So he's actually like talking to the employees at Notion. Is and like talking with these people. That's interesting. But here's the really weird part. He was talking to the Notion co-founder here. At least he looks like he is. Then yeah, if he is talking to the Notion co-founder, he's getting no traction, which is really, really weird. I don't know what to make of that. do a keyword analysis of his channel here. I feel like there's a valuable piece of information here, but I have no idea what it is. How old is the channel? We'll see here. And really the channel age has nothing to do with it on paper. Notion, Notion template, Notion templates, Notion app, how to use Notion, Notion tutorial. Notion templates. So nearly the same keyword, but I think a different target audience here. There must be something different about his target audience, nearly as old as Thomas Frank explained. It was 3 years ago. Okay, so more 2 years ago. So it's about half the age as Thomas Frank. But it's like barely, like he only is just now 5,000 subscribers. I mean, maybe it's his thumbnails. Maybe his thumbnails were not that great in this first 2 years. And I'm not watching these videos, obviously. So I really don't know. I would say these thumbnails here are much better. Clearly, these are like, if you notice, Notion is very contrasty. It's very black and white. People don't have a whole lot of color going on in their Notion. I'm looking at his view counts, and he's only like this one right here, how to use Notion, ace your exams, students, right? Obviously geared towards students, 11,000 views. This is by far a really good video for him. This one over here, how to build random quote generator in Notion. I wonder if that double bar there is like messing up his search. Because it almost looks like he's doing 2 titles in one video. This one did well. It's a 4x outlier. This one over here, never take meeting notes again. Okay. So this one definitely got the business people here. Maybe people don't like his accent. I don't know. It could easily be that just Thomas Frank had a YouTube channel before this guy. And so whatever Thomas Frank was doing over there kind of carried over to the new channel. And that's why if you look at his second channel, you shouldn't think that he did that organically or in the same time frame that this fellow did. Because it looks like they have a similar posting schedule. They post when there's stuff to post about, like when Notion changes or updates. So we're gonna say the target audience on this guy. See, like you could definitely say that Thomas Frank was Notion users. However, if you look here, he has the same thing. Oh, that's kind of interesting. YouTube analytics, but he's using Make, and I don't want to use Make. He's using his videos to create different like subtopics, whereas Thomas Frank just covers huge genres, and he starts doing that more consistently. This guy starts sticking to different Notion style, like here. But if you notice, he's using certain industry keywords like pivot table, Notion, the single best upgrade for Notion, right? He's trying to target the mystery of it all, I guess. And I would say these videos probably have merit, but he needs to go back and rename them. So Notion users is definitely part of his target audience. But specifically, he seems to be attempting to target don't want to not have that. Notion users, students using Notion, users wanting more out of Notion. And the reason I say users wanting more out of Notion is because I'm picking up this vibe that Biggest update. They're adding so many things, like Notion needs to have more things added to it. Don't get me wrong, it does. However, when they do add something like that, this is an interesting way of going about that. Almost like their updates up until now have been not that great. Like create client portals for Notion. It's like he wants these features now, and he's trying to identify with people that are wanting these things right now. Um, but everything's changing. Here's what to expect, right? It's an interesting way to phrase things. I don't think it's effect, just because people that use Notion are generally not about to switch off. They're pretty happy with it. But he seems like he's targeting people that are a little bit malcontented. Oh, do your account time zone or activity? Account for time zone? Oh, I see what you're saying. No. I know I don't. And the reason is YouTube accounts for that. So YouTube knows when you are most likely to be browsing and will serve videos to you at that time. So if, say, there was an offset of where he posted while someone was sleeping, YouTube would just serve that video to the likely target audience during their next watch session in YouTube. On YouTube specifically, it doesn't matter when you upload. So I'm not very concerned about, I don't think he's got a desync with his target audience. Because he is clearly like, he's got a German extension in his website here, DE. So he's clearly somewhere in Europe, more likely Germany, right? Somewhere over there. Which means that, yeah, he's probably going to be uploading from the opposite time zone or slightly reduced time zone, but it shouldn't be affecting him this much. He was doing his thumbnails like this way, right? Up here. This is clearly like quick Canva, quick like thumbnail generation stuff, right? Then he starts putting his face on there as he learns about branding. But then he realizes that this blue background isn't very Notion themed. And he stops using it. This video did horrible. He tried to do something in Photoshop, I'm guessing, and it became really bad. And then he went back to his regular stuff. But then he starts doing this, and the video explodes. Who knows if that was the original thumbnail on there? In fact, he did. So no, this was the first time. He did not change his thumbnail. vidIQ can see that. In fact, you all want to see? Here. vidIQ can see that he didn't change his thumbnail. I will like this video to get it to 900. But so after he realized that, and it had really good video, he started doing his thumbnails like everyone else did their thumbnail. And to be honest with you, this kind of looks like how a lot of Notion videos that are not Thomas Frank do their videos, because Thomas Frank just puts his face on there. That's kind of it. So then he starts trying to target what's happening in Notion with like practical effects and stuff, things around. He tries to use Ali Abdaal here, because he's really big in this space. He's like, I guess Ali Abdaal would be similar to Thomas Frank. I'm not looking to get a part of his target audience because he's more of a productivity channel, and I'm geared towards entrepreneurial day in the life. I'm just looking at this guy because he clearly probably has some Notion templates going on, and we're already here. I was just curious about a lesser exposed Notion channel. I can't make this up. vidIQ just cooked, like overcooked. So clearly he's saying like Notion this, Notion that. But then after this part here, Notion Second Brain, it's not pulling from the channel, it's pulling from like the search page I was just on, because it's pulling recommended videos. And there's all this stuff in here about Dragon Ball. So I don't know where it pulled all that information, but that has nothing to do with Notion. It's hilarious. But fortunately, I already know. Keyword. Notion template, Notion update, biggest Notion update. To study with Notion. That was an interesting case study. Let's go for. I know I can spell. I swear I can spell. Entrepreneur. What comes up? 3 traits of successful entrepreneur. Blog. Huh. That's an interesting. Is this a vlog? Doesn't look like it's a vlog. My stream comes up. That's amazing. I'm in a good spot if the content I'm creating right now is the 3rd recommended video when I search for entrepreneur. Also, that probably tells me YouTube knows that I would want to look for this on this account and would click it. But this is really what they want me to watch. So let's see here. I'll be honest, I think this vlog style might be not the vlog style I'm looking for, which is more in the name of theme, topic, takeaway, storytelling. Interesting that they put vlog on there. And we get this to be from this here. That's more I'm looking for. Oddly enough, it filters out the stream at this point. Overall score. Day in the life of a 100K cozy entrepreneur. I think I saw this video when I was looking for the target audience. How often does this guy post? When he says POV, he's posting them. He's just going and doing his thing. Interesting. All right. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. And this will post about once a month. Here's what I regret. Ooh, this is a good video. Just that title right there makes me interested in why did she spend so much? What did she spend on? What did she regret? This Taylor Swift business formula. Oh my god, no, say it isn't so. She's only got 87,000 subscribers, but that's probably doing pretty good. Travel blog, entrepreneur travel blog, entrepreneur travel. So this is somewhere between a travel vlog and an entrepreneur vlog, which is important because that's not exactly my target audience, but it's half the target. It's kind of interesting. So today, let's capture this data. He's only got 123,000 subscribers too. Just a pretty good amount, all things considered. He's definitely paying an editor. Only returning to China after 3 years. The reason I moved to Hong Kong, started shooting content again. Team. I'm a little curious about what's all this stuff he's doing in China. And I guess he couldn't have done it, yeah, after 3 years. So he left during COVID and then he went back. What that program be able to distinguish between real and a scam? Are you talking about vidIQ or are you talking about this template here in Notion? And between real and a scam, you mean like you're saying this guy is absolutely faking it about being an entrepreneur and like living in China? Like his channel is satirical or a scam or whatever fits. So the template here in Notion is just for data entry, and it includes like little tooltips and stuff on how to know more in general thinking. Okay. So the template here in Notion, this is just to capture data. So, because a lot of people, they go to capture data or do market research, and then they don't have a really solid, feasible, tangible way of recording the data and then reflecting back on it, especially if you're using a notebook, right? That's really aggressive. Or if you are um, using Excel, if you're not curating your data types and columns and stuff and being consistent about what goes where, then it's not going to be all that great. And then also, if you don't know the whole point, like which things to pay attention to, which is what I did here, I gave a whole bunch of different data points and then an explanation on what it is that you're supposed to look for. That is where the value of this template comes from. However, whatever you capture in this template is only supposed to show you trend. I don't think it's going to reveal a scam to you. The vidIQ plugin, going back to YouTube here, is a tool to help research YouTube videos and plan content. They are analyzing things like metric performances and stuff in on this page for each video and showing me quick little readouts of like what is happening with those. And then I could take and like say I really liked this video here. I could remix this format into planning for a video for my channel. So that's the whole point of vidIQ, is it helps you do the research. But even then, it's not helping you store the research and look at trends. But I think it's important to record trends for any particular research purpose, especially if you're going to go back and reflect on it later, which you should be. But it's not going to help you identify a scam, really, unless it's like really like obvious. Like say he's doing something and no one's watching the content. I guess it would highlight that trend, but it's not going to tell me and be like, this title combination in correlation with the views seems like this guy is lying about something. Like, it's not going to do. All right. The target audience here is travel enthusiasts. Travel enthusiasts. I'm going to say male entrepreneur. And then I'm also going to say want. So entrepreneurs are people that look at this lifestyle that he has where he's like, I'm only 26 years old and I'm building a business in China, right? And you look at that as an American or something like that, and it looks like he's doing a lot of stuff. He's running around. He's moving. He's shaking. He's doing things. All these different things, right? Balancing business and content. That is peak lifestyle, and that I think that is a good target audience here. Lifestyle. I'm trying to like identify this here. I think entrepreneurs is the best way to say it, honestly, because it's people that desire that lifestyle. See, like when you define a target audience, you got to think of a label for the group of people that are watching it. The theme of the content might be lifestyle. He's a lifestyle influencer, but the target audience is not lifestyle influencer, if that makes sense. The target audience is people unhappy with their current lifestyle. People unhappy with their lifestyle. I'm just going to put it that way. Maybe something will come of that. Maybe it won't. But entrepreneurs is kind of the same thing, right? Entrepreneurs are people that are looking more at his stuff, where he is, the slickness of everything, how he's young and he's doing stuff, right? And I could probably watch these videos and give a lot more insight, but there's a reason I generally wouldn't watch a channel like this as opposed to a channel like Devin Nash, who is just a little bit smaller than this guy. And that's because Devin is so busy doing what he's doing that all he has time to do is sit at his desk at work and and like stream for a few hours and then cut that into recording. This guy, and Devin's older than this guy. This guy is like, not saying that his age is a disqualifying factor, but Devin's just got more than likely. Um, so I'm gonna say did I misspell envious there? Indeed, I did. That's wild. I'll have to change that in the template too. Envious. I didn't put that on the other ones because I didn't really get a very strong effect on the viewer. But this guy, oh, and I guess "ow" is a big keyword for him. Oh, a nope, no, a specifically that. Andrew. Lines. He even says remote company, which is interesting. Business. All right, done with that. Does he use any hashtags as most recent video? Let's see here. Shush. Shush. Interestingly enough, no hashtags. Huh. Okay. No hashtags. Not a one. Is your glasses there? No. Every online business ranked. Clever. So right here, she's taking advantage of new year, new you. So she is much actually more in the legitimate entrepreneurial um target audience than the other guy is, because she isn't traveling around that much. She did post a travel blog at some point. I saw it. It was somewhere around there. I'm not seeing. Oh yeah, the most recent one was like solo trip to Italy, and it's got hardly any views in comparison to her actual, probably well thought out video here. For definitely trying like the vlog style, but it's not right now. As of 6 days ago, it's not doing. Which I really think that people don't really care to see that sort of thing. Her videos over here, like, look at these views. Crazy. Like, really good videos. About starting a business, yada, yada, yada. Then she dips into Notion. Then she talks more about books. Then she talks about the next year. And then she talks about going to Italy. And it's like, nope, I'm out. I don't care. I'm not sure if I'd like to see her demographics, but I look at this and I'm thinking this is uh, more geared towards women than men. I'm gonna say women entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs and freelance. That last one I kind of picked up just giving the keywords there. That's our target audience. Keywords are going to be in line. Since I've already spelled them, would think that vacation is not really on a family plan for most since it does cost so much. Yeah, exactly. And she doesn't appear to be. She even said solo trip in the video title. It's just that her other videos reviewing books, strategies, and things that actually benefit entrepreneurs have hundreds of thousands of views. And then her videos on like Notion, going on a trip, comparisons to Notion are like really bad. So her target audience, even though she made videos for that target audience for Notion users, her target audience is not Notion. And the sooner she realizes that, the sooner her channel's going to do better. She could probably take those videos down and be just fine. Freelance, jobs, okay. Virtual assistant 72. I don't know, maybe. Are you talking about right there? Oh, so virtual assistant is the keyword and 72 is the volume. So it's like how often you see that. That's actually a good point. Virtual. So I'm actually gonna go over to the Notion template so you can see what I'm writing here. Virtual assistant, beginner, jobs, no experience. This sounds like a scam employment thing, right? Freelance jobs online, freelancing. Whoop. Freelancing. I did get virtual assistant already. Online is huge. Then you notice her tags are very direct, very specific. To the point where I would say her target demographic is definitely freelance. Here that are smaller than Thomas Frank aren't using hashtags. That doesn't mean that's a success metric. It's just interesting. Not stacked. Yeah, there we go. You gonna show me? Yeah. So this is what we want. I don't know what all those zeros are, but when I mouse over these options, it's showing me this content creator's target audience. This part here is showing me how many subscribers they have, follower subscribers. The reason this looks all screwy is because it's representing all of the other ones, how they don't, like, just kind of a crappy way of, and that doesn't. So I think I've got another one. It's like content, for instance, on target audience by format. So what I want is duplicate that. We want target audience by subscribers. Oh, because I don't want to group it by format. There we go. Should do probably the median, right? Mission users. Yeah, just added a whole bunch to them, which isn't what we want the average. I think that makes more sense than the median. This is where some statistics would be useful. So let's ask real quick here. Regulated by summing up everything and then dividing by the number of values, right? The median is the middle value of an ordered data set. If the number of observations is odd, it's the central number. If it's even, it's the average of the two central numbers. The median is less affected by outliers and skewed data. Okay. So that means that yeah. The median is physically the middle, whereas the average is mathematically be looking at because it does perform math in this instance. Users wanting more out of Notion. Tiny amount. Entrepreneurs are huge. So that's pretty good. And then Don't I have a target audience by keyword? Ooh, I can. Look at that. That's actually useful. So check this out, right? I can see here that the Notion users are using these keywords, and these guys over here are using these keywords. So this is actually incredibly valuable information where you can see the breakdown between of what of what this target audience is. That is super useful. I think I could take this and filter it. Median subscriber count to be grouped by the keyword. And then it's going to show me that, oh yeah, this is what makes up. These keywords make up this target audience, appeal to this target audience, essentially. Keyword combos of target audiences. Yeah, that'll work. I'm just going to slap that at the end. That isn't effective. I'm going to put that up there. Very good. So, looking at not travel enthusiasts, but actual entrepreneurs. Surprised women entrepreneurs aren't on here. I don't know if that's a limitation or something. Oh, interesting. So it's pulling from single, I almost want to say single target audience labels. Whereas, oh, no, wait, no, I'm wrong. I'm just not paying attention because I changed her to freelance and she's not an entrepreneur. She is, but she's targeting freelancers. And I mean, it makes sense. She's doing that. That gives me a little bit of insight into my target market. Oh my goodness. Oh, and that's how you use that template. Which worked out pretty well, all things considered. Oh, let's bring this over here. Now that concludes our targeted market research. Huzzah! We did it. Well done. If this template was interesting in any way to you in the now times or the future times, it is possible to get this template for yourself. It is available right now at our Patreon. I need to put a link in the doobly-doo. I will do right now. In fact, I will put this link. Now it's in the doobly-doo. But yeah, that template is one that I made specifically for this. And it is pretty useful, honestly, all things considered. So if that would be useful to any entrepreneurs out there, you know where to find it. And let me know, like this graph, I'll probably be adding to it to make it more useful, updates to it quite frequently because I myself am using it. So as I find something is useful to me, then I put that in the template, but then I can experiment with things my own time and see if I like them, if I don't like them. And when you have it, when you make a copy, you can make your own changes and match your own metrics together, however fit. So I just want to provide you a good starting point. That being said, it is time then to talk about Patreon. That's right. Patreon, everybody. Huzzah! As of right now, I have no shout outs to give to our Patreon. But you could help me with that by giving me a name to shout out by supporting us on our Patreon. Entry level, I want to say is $5. That gets you access to our various tiers of support over there, including, but not limited to, a YouTube shout out, early access to our Notion templates and updates, and early access to our coloring books, as well as a private Discord channel in our community Discord for $5 a month. There are additional membership tiers, but $5 gets you in. Or if you just want to have access to our paid templates, they are sold individually on Patreon, as will the coloring book. And I do update them frequently. But if you do not care to jump in on one of the paid membership tiers, joining the Patreon is actually free. There are free templates, and I will be making posts and things that go to the Patreon first that you can be a part of and see if you are just registered in there as a free member, which would be lovely if you choose to do that.
And maybe you are trying to grow your business brand or achieve something, so I would recommend you check out this video next, where I outline the Devin Nash Challenge to achieve such things.